All right, we should be live everywhere right now. Jeannie, I don't know if you want to check on your side. You're on the business page. I'm gonna go on my personal page and see how we're live there. It looks good on my side here. Um, so I'm gonna follow the chats that are happening as we kind of like go with this, because I want to be able to participate, I guess, with what's happening and what people are saying and so forth and so on.
Hmm.
So you run, you check your side, I'll check my side, so that way we could keep track and, hopefully be able to help everybody and everything that they're doing and
You're on the
be able
business
to.
page. I'm gonna go on my
You got to
personal
lower the
page.
volume.
Yep.
All right. All right. So we should be good. We should start getting some folks logging in here shortly. I know many of you have gotten text messages and email updates and things of that nature, to let you know where this business planning clinic was going to be held. I'm really excited about this one. I'll explain it a little bit while we start getting ready, but I'm excited about this one because this is something that I do annually, and typically it's not virtual. Typically we're doing it like live and ready to go. But this one, I felt like we can do it virtually. We can reach a larger crowd. We can see more people and talk to more people. Guys, if you have comments and things you want to run in there, please do comment. I'm gonna write in here, good morning to everyone, and let us know your thoughts. If you got questions, jump in and ask questions. We're here to answer questions. We're here to help you guys grow your businesses, and that's why we put this together. And more so, a couple weeks ago, or wow, it feels like a couple weeks ago, but I think it was a month ago. We were in New Jersey, and we hosted the New You Real Estate Conference. And at the New York Real Estate Conference, we were fortunate enough and excited to have Tom Ferry as a host or co-host, not or a speaker, whatever he was, at the event. And and Tom Ferry came in and he did a really great session on planning your business. It wasn't really like a business planning for 2022, but more so a an opportunity to be able to present a ton of information to people who are building businesses, right? And so I took some of the tidbits from his thing and kind of merged it into my thing and created like a hybrid, enterprise coaching, Tom Ferry coaching kind of presentation. So, Jeannie, you were at that presentation. What did you think about that?
Oh, it was mind blowing, honestly. And I think we each kind of have our own systems and our own structure already, but really hearing what's happening in other people's world and what's making them successful, you just implement it in your own way, and you personalize your whole business plan. So
Yep. Very awesome, guys. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm pretty sure by now there's a ton of folks that have already logged in and they're already ready to get started, right? So we're going to run right through this, guys. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. A lot of great stuff we're going to be sharing today. So business planning, right? Getting ready for your business by planning. And so those of you that know me or don't know me, my name is David Adam Kurz. I run the Kurz team with Jeannie, who's on the line with us, Janetta Chaveria. She's my business partner on there, and we're both certified through coaching platforms. Specifically, most recently, we got certified through the Success Organization as coaches. And I've been doing this a long time, guys, and I wrote a book called Take Action. And in that book, the inspiration for writing that book was simply the idea that we constantly talk about the plan. Very few people take action, right? So I think that a lot of folks uh, that are listening to this right now, I think the biggest thing that I want to give you, or the biggest takeaway I want you to have, is that it's important to plan for your business. It's important to plan for the following year. It's important to do all that stuff. What's more important is actually taking the plan and putting it into effect, right? And
right.
having an action plan, right? And doing something about it. So that's where that book Take Action came, and it had its glory because people we're failing to do that one little piece, right? All right, so I'm going to run through this. This is Tom Ferry right here. This is us about a month ago, right? And like I said, we're going to bonus in a bunch of the Tom Ferry clips and things that we talked about. And we're going to get into what the business is and where you kind of want to be with your business. We're going to start with that, and then we'll get into legit business planning, right? So let's think about this. This is a business pyramid. I want you guys to really look at this in the sense that you are somewhere in this period in your business, right? Some of you are just kind of thinking about becoming realtors. Maybe you jumped on board right now in this Zoom because you said, "Man, I'd really like to become a realtor. Like that would be pretty awesome." So you're in that interested or committed phase, right? Like maybe you're already taking the classes, maybe you're about to take the test. Then you start really taking the business on, and you start doing what every salesperson needs to do, right? Because we're in sales as real estate professionals, and we happen to sell the number one product that people need. I mean, think about it, right? Everyone needs a place to live. We sell that product, and it's an amazing opportunity to change lives. And so it's just a matter of how you look at this. And so we get into the lead generation part, right? And so this is where you need to be sourcing leads, you need to be attracting lead generation, you need to be tracking those leads, you need to be running campaigns to them. Like this is the development phase for that part, right? Then there's lead conversions, right? There are plenty of folks that can get leads, and then there are many folks that can't convert them, but eventually you learn how to convert those leads. Eventually you learn how to use a database, whether it's short-term or long-term. You're using visual lead lists, you're creating automatic flow, you have AI technology that's now pretty popular, right, Jeannie? We use AI with our systems.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive too.
And so when you think about those pieces, right, now you're in the conversion mode. Now you're ready to do some business. Now you host some presentations. Then you put other systems in place, administrators, transaction coordinators, office managers, all the things that require you to create systems so that you can create structure, consistency, and money, right? Like all of this other stuff is pointless if it doesn't get you to a closing table, right? And then you could review your results and then master your craft. In here, you'll notice it says master your emotions and financials, right? This is something that very few people can actually get to, this level of the pyramid. Like this is not even the max, it's not even the highest piece, but very few people can get to the point where they can master their financials and their emotions, right? And understand that you're running a business out there, and then mastering business is being able to create something that's duplicatable and potentially sellable, right? Can I sell my business? What is it worth, right? And without all the rest of this stuff that we're going to talk about today, it's going to be very difficult to actually create something of value without, having the systems put in place. So there's something called the SWOT. SWOT stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And we'll talk about that real quick, right? You need to think about what the strengths and weaknesses are in your business. Okay. And so take a picture of this, take a screenshot, do whatever it is that you need to do. But you need to think about what the strengths of your particular business are and what your weaknesses are. And this is a moment where you and become massively aware of yourself and then be super honest with yourself, right? So there's that, strengths and weaknesses in your business. And then we look exterior, we look outside of your business, and we look at the opportunities that exist and the threats that are out there. Threats could be anything. It could be change in market climate. It could be a competitor that's trying to take out the rest of everybody else, right? There's so many different things that could be a threat. Opportunities could be, anything that will help you raise or increase your market share in the industry that you're in, right? And we can stay very focused on real estate because, let's face it, we're realtors, is what we do. I'm a real estate coach. Jeannie coaches in real estate. We run real estate teams. Like real estate is our realm, but this is equivalent for any business. This is if you're trying to open up an ice cream shop, right? You need to know what the opportunities of where you're opening your ice cream shop are and what the threats are in that area of a location that you can open your ice cream shop. So this, I'd really love if you guys take a screenshot of this and then go research it, do SWOT analysis, This is what this is called. And then sit down and create the little tic-tac-toe board. Just put a big cross on a whiteboard somewhere on a piece of paper, right? And write it down. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. And then think about your business. Remember, strengths and weaknesses are interior, right? This is your business. What are the strengths in your business? And what are the weaknesses in your business, right? And then look exterior, look out, and figure out what the opportunities out there that you can take advantage of to help your business grow and what would threaten the growth of your business. Okay. Now, when I talk
And be
about
honest, right? Be
yes,
honest.
there you go. When I
I think
talk
that's the
about being
best
honest with yourself, right? This is
with
it right here.
yourself. Yeah.
Yes, most people cannot handle the truth of their own business. And so I'm humbly asking you what Jeannie's asking you is to sit back and be real with yourself. This is an opportunity for you to be real with yourself, right? Because if you're not real with yourself in this particular SWOT analysis, if you're not real with yourself in the study of your own business, then you're lying to yourself. If you're lying to yourself, then nothing's going to change.
Yeah. And you're
right?
limiting
Nothing.
your progress, your growth, and your own business, really.
It's amazing. So one of the things where we talk about opportunities, strengths, weaknesses, and threats, and we took this from the Tom Ferry system, and he talks about where are you ranking in your MLS? You know, and so some folks might be like, Dave, why is that important? Right? Why is it important where I rank in my MLS? I'm just trying to be out here doing business. Well, you're out there trying to do business in an area that actually sells real estate. So maybe you should study the MLS and see where the most listings are getting presented and what's happening out there in the industry, right? But secondly, you need to know where you are in accordance to the people that are out there so that you can gauge yourself and see what the ceilings are out there. How much better can you get? Are you misunderstanding your potential, right? And then at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, in sales, we're on a competitive business, right? So you want to know where you rank so that you can continue to grow. So 4 questions you can ask yourself right now. Where do I rank today? Do I see the trend changing? Where do I want to rank? And what decisions do I need to make? Right? Take a screenshot, ladies and gentlemen. If you're watching this right now, take a screenshot, save this, keep it for yourself. Guys, this is critical to the experience of what we're going to build out as a business plan. Okay, where do I rank today? Do I see trend change? Where do I want to rank in my business? And what decisions do I need to make? And the idea here is that we want to move from uncertainty to certainty by planning, right? By asking ourselves those 4 questions and having a true understanding of them and creating the SWOT analysis that we discussed a little while ago, we want to move from an area of uncertainty to an area of certainty simply by planning how to go from one to the other. Because there are a ton of great agents out there that are accidental realtors, right? What is an accidental realtor? This is a real estate professional that accidentally bumps into business. We all know them, right? We all know them. So how do I get in the business and create a plan that will legitimately create systems that will bring me business consistently versus running into Tia at the, Noche Buena dinner and Tia saying, oh, I have a friend that might want to sell her house. How do we get past that? How do we get ahead of that, right? All right, let's get busy. So question for yourself, what are you building, right? So let's go through this because there are different ways that we can talk about what you're building, right? And the reason for this question is because you could be saying to yourself, I want to be a single agent, right? I want to be a single agent and I want to create something for myself. And listen, everybody has a different plan. Everybody has a different understanding of what their success is, right? Some folks don't need to make $1 million a year, right? I know that sounds crazy to some of you out there listening, but some folks don't need that. They don't want that. They don't want everything that comes with that. What they want is they want to build a business that, hold on one second. They want to build a business that will grow for themselves and for the purposes that they have. Then there are folks out there that want to build small teams, right? Localized to their area. Then there are people out there who want to create something way bigger they could ever imagine and grow across 2 states. And then there are folks that, like Jeannie and I, who run teams in 4 cities with 5 and 6 opening soon and 7 in the horizon, right? And then there are folks who want to have business in all 50 states. There are folks that want to run international. So what are you building is the question, right? And you need to know that foresight so that you can begin preparation today. All right, let's run this. All right, so what is my dream for our business, right? How would things be different if my dreams came true? And that's a great question, right? And then will or does my dream connect on a personal level with others? There's 2 great questions. Let me explain why, right? And Jeannie, you could jump on this because you were at Tom Ferry's thing. And look, we both understand and know that we can have a dream, and we'll probably I'm sure there's a slide in here that says a dream without a plan is just a dream, right? Like it just, we can have a dream, but what would change? What would happen if that dream actually came true? Like, what is different in my life, right? And then how does that dream connect on a personal level with other people? We're in the sales business, or we in the people business. We work with people. So if my dream came true, how does that impact people on a personal level? Jeannie, you want to run with this? Because I know you were at that, and we talk about this all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I've had goals, and you, David, personally have been coaching me throughout my career, and my dreams have evolved, and I see them come true, but also I can see the level that it affects my personal life. I mean, my life literally changed, and it keeps changing and growing, and to see it impact my personal family. My son actually getting licensed. Before he goes to the Air Force, he's getting a realtor license. My younger talking about, becoming a realtor as well. So that on that level, it is amazing, and to see that, we can become, so, so impactful for those personal, and also within our industry, even agents that started with me, uh, with my mentoring, and to see them become leaders, and grow their own teams, it is huge. And that, that's something that I'm grateful for. And then you have to assess your dreams, and then you become, I think they become bigger and bigger as you
Yes,
evolve.
as you evolve, right? And I think it's hard to imagine, like, I'm sure when we spoke a year ago, 2 years ago, you never thought in a million years that your son would begin a real estate license. Personally, my daughter now works at New World Title. I never thought in a million years that my daughter would work for a title company, right? I knew for a fact that she wasn't going to work for me, but I didn't know that she would be in the industry, right? But
Yeah.
these are the things that you ask yourself as you begin to build out your plan, and these are the things that you ask yourself and become super vulnerable with, right? How, what would happen if my dreams came true? What could potentially happen? What could potentially grow, right? And then let's talk about another clarification question for your vision. What are the greatest strengths of my organization? What are the greatest strengths of my organization, my team, my business, my sales volume, right? And then what problem does my business seek to solve? Right? And now we're going through these questions, and some of you are thinking, oh, Dave, I thought you were going to give me a breakdown for business planning. But without this knowledge, there is no business plan.
Yeah.
Without this knowledge, there is no business plan. Okay. So what
This
problem
is
does
your
my
value.
yes, this is it.
Sorry, this is your
What
value. And yeah,
sorry, I'll keep cutting you off. All right.
I
So
know, me too.
and then
Sorry.
why do people believe this problem needs to be addressed? Right. So one time I was reading something, and it said, if you want to create a sustainable business, right? If you want to create a business that'll last forever, a super sustainable business, solve a world problem. And that's such a legit thing when you think about all the major businesses that have changed the world, changed the way we communicate, changed the way, like the iPhone, right? Like Apple creating the first smartphone. That was not an industry changer. That was a world change. People changed forever how they would communicate. Facebook changed forever how we communicate with each other. I mean, Elon Musk with electric cars and now spaceships. And at some point in our lives, if you're under 40 right now, there's a really good possibility that you'll actually see the first people colonize Mars. Like, that's crazy to me, right? And so why do I believe that this problem needs to be addressed? Each of those folks thought about a problem and they fixed it. Now, you don't need to go invent the next smartphone, but you do need to reevaluate your business and think about what it does seek to solve. You know, one of the things that we focus on, now just perfect example, one of the things that Jeannie and I have focused on a little bit is working with veterans. Her husband's a veteran, I'm a veteran. She, in Virginia, when she lived there, she was in a veteran community, you know, and a lot of active duty people. And there are very few brokerages and few teams that focus on helping veterans find wealth. And that's a huge problem because the military is not teaching them how to get rich. If they get rich, they get out the military, right? The military wants to retain them. If they teach them how to put a lot of money in the bank, folks ain't gonna want to keep going to Iraq, ladies and gentlemen, right? And so that's a problem that could be solved. So if you're a veteran and you're listening to this, hello, let's get a wake-up call going for our veteran community, right? And that doesn't stop there. You could think about so many different things you could be solving. Does this problem matter to other people? Do you think that for a moment it matters to other people, right? Do I honestly believe that we have an answer to that problem, right? So elaborate with yourself. Like, okay, there's a problem that my business seeks to address. Yes, it affects other people and it matters to them. Do I believe that I have the answer? And do I need to dig into that before I start creating this business plan for 2022 or 2023 or whatever the case is, right? And then, are there fundamental changes I believe my business can make, right? Like, if you implement this, and Jeannie and I, when we have meetings about things we want to implement in our business and our team, when we talk about it, we go, that's one of the questions we ask ourselves. Can we fundamentally make those changes, and is our business prepared for that change, right? And that could mean a lot of things. It could mean disruption for the agents on our team because we're changing a system, or it could mean financially, or it could mean, I mean, just a million different things. Are we ready? Will our business be able to make that change, right? And then what happens when we solve the problem, right? And what a great question. Think about that. There's a problem. I think it needs to be addressed. It matters to other people. I have the answer. My business can handle it. So what happens when we actually solve this problem? You know, and please don't answer by saying, I'll go make a lot of money, right? But answer by saying how it affects the community, how it affects the people around you, right? That's more important. What happens when you solve that problem, you know? And then, who is the enemy of my business or my vision? Now, man, this is such a loaded question, and that's why this question sits by itself, all alone on this slide, right? And it's a loaded question because when you're building out the clarity for your vision, right? Because without your vision, what are you planning for, really, right? And so, who is, you know, the enemy of my business, and who is the enemy of my vision? Man, and I hate to tell you this. Yeah, it could be friends. It could be your mom. It could be family. It could be competition, right? And it's easy to point at competition. It's easy to say, you know, look, those guys across the street, they're the enemy of my business and my vision because they're trying to do what I do, or they're trying to take me out of the business, or whatever. But sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes it's the people around you. You come up with a plan. You say, I'm going to do this. And the people that you express it to turn around and look at you and go, that's a stupid idea. I don't know why you're doing that. Or you're going to spend too much money doing that. Why would you even consider that? But you're looking at success leaves clues, and you're looking at successful people make those changes and create these massive plans for themselves and for the community around them. And then you get nervous. So understand who the enemy is in your business and the enemy of your vision, and separate yourself from them. I'm not saying stop talking to your mom, ladies and gentlemen. Don't blame me for that. Don't have your mom calling me, telling me that you don't speak to her no more because you watch one of my webinars and, you know, you stop. Don't do that. But understand the distance that you need to keep in order to keep your business and your vision open and alive, right? Let's dig in, ladies and gentlemen. I knew it. A dream written down with a date becomes a goal. A goal broken down into steps becomes a plan. A plan backed by actions makes your dreams come true. Take a screenshot, post it. I stole it from somebody else. You see their logo on the bottom corner. I give them credits to. This was an amazing, amazing, amazing quote, because as I looked at this, I said, it's true. You know, I have this dream, and right now we're going to talk about writing that dream down, right? We're going to talk about your dreams and your goals. We're going to write them down. We're going to lay them out, and they're going to become your plan. But the plan without the actual action, this is what we talked about earlier, is nothing. It's just a plan. But if you have a plan backed by legitimate action, I promise you, it'll make your dreams come true. Maybe not in the time that you want it to, or maybe not right away, but it will work. Okay. Now, this was something I took away from Tom Ferry, which was a very different way of saying what we just talked about. Life punishes the vague wisher and rewards those with a specific ask. Life punishes the vague wisher and rewards those with a specific ask. That's huge, guys. That's so big, right? You know, people wish, I wish I had this. I wish I had that. I wish I had, you hear it all the time, right? But then they don't do anything about it. And then they feel like life is punishing them. I never get what I wish for. Well, okay. Like, I mean, where's your magic lamp? I mean, I don't know how that's supposed to work, but it rewards those with a specific ask. Somebody who says, I wish I had that. How can I get that? Let me get my vision in order. Let me put my goals down on paper. Let me create a plan, and then I'm going to take action. Now I have a specific ask, and life is going to reward you for that, right? What is the purpose of the business plan? Ultimate success formula, right? Know exactly what you want, okay? So the purpose of your business plan is to make sure that you have a super clear vision, right? And then you have direction and guidance. You're going to talk about funding and exposure. And then you're going to test feasibility and validity of your ideas. And we're going to go through all of this. All right. So 2022 focus questions. I pulled this from Tom too. What does my ideal business look like? How many transactions will we close? Right. So these are easy questions, right? When we talked about the vision in the prior slide, right? What does my ideal business look like? Am I a team? Am I a solo agent? Am I in Florida? Am I in Virginia? Am I in California? You know, am I moving to Puerto Rico? Like, what is it that you want to do? Right? How many transactions will I or we close? Notice that you could be the single agent, you could be the massive team, right? And when you think of team, it's how many will we close, not I, right? And then how much volume in GCI, right? How much volume in GCI, okay? And then we're gonna have what are my expenses, my business expenses. Understand that the bigger your business get, you're going to have larger business expenses. You're going to have to take some risks. You're going to have to buy some things that are going to help you keep your business together. Everything from CRMs to ads, to Google ads, to Facebook ads, to administrators, to assistants, to everything else. I mean, we got ours on the line with us right now. There he is right there. Say what's up, right? So Michael's on the line with us right now. And so he helps tremendously with keeping our business, but it is an expense. Right? How much will we save, invest, right? So how much am I going to save or reinvest into myself out of this business that I'm building? And it's funny, I was watching something with Grant Cardone, and he talked about how he always focused on living on 20% of the income that his business earned, and he would take the other 80% and reinvest it in himself, right? How much time off will I schedule? Guys, this is a really important question. Because once you start focusing on building your business, this is the one thing everyone leaves off, right? This is the one thing everyone leaves off their business plan. Legitimately add into your business plan how much time you intend to take off in 2022. If you do not add that in there, it will be November and you will say, holy smokes, I didn't take any time off, right? So when are we going on vacation, Jeannie? We're not planning this out, right?
As like you said, this is the last thing that goes on there. And then before you know it, the whole year is gone by.
It's gone. It's gone. Jen Gomez, who's probably on right now, is one of our partners. She plans her stuff, man. You know, she plans her stuff. She makes it happen. She gets prepared. This is our year to shine, right, ladies and gentlemen? You know, Glow says you guys have to come with me. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Love
And
it.
then
Love it.
so just massive thought process on work, but also in rejuvenating yourself as a human being, as a person, connecting with your family and friends, being able to set that time aside as well is extremely important. Nine
Those
sections is
energies. Yeah, I'm
yeah.
sorry, but the
Go ahead.
energies that you kind of regenerate just come back with you, and then you start attracting so much more when you have that positive energy around you. So
100%.
yeah.
All right, 9 sections of business plan: your vision, personal, goal, business model, revenue and services, client growth, competition, marketing strategy, and performa, which is your cash flow. Take a screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2. I'm out. Don't worry, it's recorded. It's going to be on Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and everywhere else. All right. What is your vision for your business, right? So we talked about building that out. That's the first part, right? Your team and your company. What is the vision for your business? Now, let's talk about personal. Who are you? What's your resume? How much have you sold? How many homes have you sold? How many clients have you been given or do you give out? That's another great question, right? Referral business, right? I think it's important to really, when we talk about your vision, your personal vision and your team vision, it's important to know who you are as a person and how you're going to accomplish those visions and how you're going to talk about goals. There are different goals, guys, ladies and gentlemen. Like, it's not just one goal. There are different pieces to the goal setting. It's what are your business and personal goals, right? It's okay. Listen, you can include in your business plan, I'm going to lose 20 pounds this year. You can legitimately include that into your business plan. What happens? People say, I want to lose 20 pounds this year. And then they don't really come up with a legitimate plan on how to lose the 20 pounds. And when you see the guy or the girl at the gym that's super cut, super strong, they're in the gym, blah, blah, blah. And you ask them, dude, how do you get like that? They like spit out their entire plan to you. What they eat, when they eat it, how often they eat it, when they work out, how often they work out, what their different types of workouts are, what supplements they take. Like, they know all this stuff, right? And then you're at the gym and you go, holy smokes, this guy actually came up with a business plan on looking like that, right? And so same thing with your business, right? You can't say, I'm going to make $1 million this year, right? And then walk away and have zero plan for it. And it's everyone that's watching right now, everyone that's on this call right now, 100% opportunity to make $1 million a year, 1,000,000% opportunity, right? So what's your income goal? What's your marketing goals? Right? Like, think about that. How often will I put video out? How often will I run ad flow on Facebook? How much money will I spend on Google Ads? How often will I comment on social media or create systems? Will I have a Facebook group? Should I focus on building a group? Um, I mean, just anything that has to do with marketing, just spitting it out. Even EDDM, going out there. Am I going to have a table at the next Harley Davidson event or the next, uh, co- uh, what do you call them? Conference that comes into town, right? Like, am I going to have a table there? Am I going to present myself and my company there, right? What are your sales goals, right? And are your sales goals matching your income goals, right? You got to do some math here, right? So there's an ideal formula to this. And the formula is very simple. I want to make this much a year. And this is the average price of a home in my neighborhood. And this is the average commission. So if I sold this home, this is how much money I would make. How many of those homes do I need to get to my income goal? Very simple. It's simple math, right? But if you do the math, then you have a plan of attack. Then you know if you need to sell 2 houses a month or 10 houses a month, right? Now, where is your company heading and how will it get there, right? And are your goals measurable and trackable? This is, another great question when it comes to goals, because is your goal a lofty goal that's completely impossible to measure and track, or are you giving it a specific size? And now, because it has a specific size, are you able to measure where you are month over month, quarter over quarter for the rest of the year? And can you track those goals? Right? So, for instance, I'm going to post on Facebook 5 times a week, once a day, 5 days a week. That's a measurable marketing goal, right? One of those posts will be video, the other one will be paragraph, the other one will be story, the other one will be marketing for the team, and the other one will be neighborhood related. 5 different posts every week. So I come up with that plan. Can I measure that? And can I track it? 1,000,000%. Right? All right. Your business model. Are you a team? Are you an agent? Where are you headed? We talked about this a little bit already. Are you part of a team? Right? I mean, I don't even know why I don't even have this on here. But are you a new agent to the industry and should be a part of a team? Or, I'm sorry, but there's a lot of experienced agents out there that would do 4 times, 5 times, 10 times the business if they were part of a team environment, right? Teams are great. Teams are great. I know for a fact, Jeannie and I have this conversation all the time. Shit, we had it this morning with somebody. We don't get to where we are today without our team. You know,
Amen.
so yep, I love teams. Then revenue and services. What services do you render? Right. So obviously, for the majority, the folks that are in here, we're in real estate, right? So that's the service that we render. That's the service that we provide is real estate. What kind of revenue have you done? What revenue do you intend to receive? So historically, how much have you earned selling real estate? We'll stick to the real estate aspect of this. Historically, how much have you earned selling real estate? And year over year, has it increased? Has it decreased? And when it does increase or decrease, what changed? What happened? Right? And if you can study that, then you can come up with the idea of what your revenue for next year needs to look like and how much to receive and how you intend to get there. Right? Client growth and retention. Right? So this could be anything. If you're a broker and you're building a business, or you're with EXP and you're building a network, or you run a team and you have agents, or you're an agent and you have clients. This is all the same thing. Growth and retention. How do I earn new clients and how do I retain previous clients? Now, here's the magic trick to real estate. In the beginning of your career, you're gonna get some deals, some accidental deals, and then you're gonna go out there and work for some deals, and you get some more deals, and then you're gonna have to take a large part of that money and reinvest it in yourself to get more clients. The trick, the magic trick, is getting to the point where you no longer have to spend that kind of money, and you could reallocate that money into different types of marketing. And the different type of marketing is staying in front of all your previous clients. That's the magic trick, right? Because the point in business is to get to the point where you become that word of mouth person, right? You know, that restaurant where everybody just talks about it, you don't really see any ads about it. And every time you go, it's packed. There's a line outside. It's impossible to get a reservation because everyone just talks about it so much. You want to be that restaurant as a business, right? You want people online wanting to work with you.
Yeah, and I want to add to that, David, is that we are in a relationship-based business. Without those relationships that you are nurturing and you grow, we wouldn't have what we have now. So, just think about that. At the end of the day, there's no magic trick. It's just about you connecting with someone, growing that relationship, and like building it to be an everlasting relationship so they continue to come back and you become so close to those people around you that you end up partnering with them 15 years later. Like
Yeah.
that's the kind of relationship that you grow with people, and it is pretty amazing when you see the fruit of it.
Yes, yes. All right. So I was trying to get my comments up and I'm not seeing my comments. So it's unfortunate. I know that a bunch of people have commented, but I've got my iPad here and I'm not able to see any of the comments. So, Michael, if you see comments, just send them to me on WhatsApp Messenger. And that way we can make sure that we're connecting with people, even if you just take screenshots. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on your as well here live, and I've seen a couple people comment, but just
Okay.
no questions
Awesome
yet.
stuff. I want to make sure that if you guys have comments or questions, you jump in, you share them, you ask. That's what we're here for. It's a business planning clinic. I don't want to make it like give you some big speech, right? Like I want you guys to participate, help us out, and no question should go unheard or unanswered. All right, because I guarantee you there are other people in here that are watching this and they want to be a part of that, right? So let's talk about competition. Who are your competitors, right? Who are they and how do they do business? Dude, study your competitors. Don't spend your whole life on your competitors and dwelling on your competitors, but study and know who your competitors are. How are they conducting their business? What makes them so special? Why do they want to consistently grow? How are they consistently growing? These are all the great questions that you need to know. So Tom Ferry, I actually included his slide inside my slide. And it says, have you Googled a few of your competitors? Have you been to their websites? Have you seen how they conduct themselves on their websites? Right? All that kinds of stuff. Right? Look, Penny, we go back to who you work with and all that stuff. Penny writes, I'm writing more holiday cards today to past clients and realtors I have worked with. Like, that's amazing. That's an opportunity that she's taking to reconnect with all of her past clients and realtors that she's worked with. It's important to stay connected with the realtors that you've worked with, right? Because you're going to run into each other again. The longer you are in this business, the more you're going to run into the same people with the same deals, and you want to work with each other. And if you know how you guys work together, those next few deals get much more easier to work. Okay. Marketing strategy. What drives businesses, clients, and revenue to your business? Like, what is going to be your strategy, and how does it drive people to you? How are you getting more business through your marketing strategies? Now, I want to spend a little bit of time on this because I think that marketing is extremely important. I think that, yes, we are in the people business, we are in the sales business, but without marketing, there are no people to sell to. And so marketing is something that you really need to take seriously in this industry. And look, everybody does marketing in a different way. Some people are super heavy on social media. Some people put their faces on bus benches. Okay. The important thing to understand when you're doing this kind of stuff is that you want to ensure that you can track and measure how and what is working. Okay. Now, if I put my face on 10 bus benches, right? I want to be able to pick up that phone and ask that client, how did you hear about me? And if they say, I heard about you on the bus, or I saw you on the bus bench as I was driving by on, XYZ Drive, then you're going to say, okay, great. And you can track that and measure that in your CRM when you add that client to your CRM, and you can add a keyword, hashtag bus bench, or whatever it is that you want to do, so that you know what is working and what is not working, because you need to evaluate your marketing strategies on a quarterly basis. First of all, don't start something that you can't stick with for 6 months. Second of all, on a quarterly basis, evaluate. I received X amount of leads and I closed X amount of business from this strategy, whatever that strategy is. Google ads, Facebook ads, referral business, door knocking, I don't, your face on the bus bench, your face on a billboard, right? Like, whatever it is. Some people use EDDM a lot. I know for a fact that a lot of people use EDDM. I don't. It's not a part of our business plan, but there's not a day that goes by that I don't grab the mail at my house and find a ton of postcards in there from a ton of different businesses using EDDM, right? So does it work? I don't know. It's not my thing. But if it works for you, then that's a part of your marketing strategy. And if you can track that, if you know how that works, and that's how you put your money in the right place, right? So what drives business? What drives clients to your business? What drives revenue to your business? It's marketing, 100%. So study the marketing that you've done. First, start there. Study the marketing that you've done and see what's working for you and what's not working for you. Make necessary adjustments, and then create what marketing you will do, and add some new stuff. Feel free to add some new stuff. Maybe you say, I'm going to get more in social media this year. Jump in there and add new stuff. And as you add the new stuff, make sure that on a monthly basis, you're evaluating it. On a quarterly basis, you're studying it. And then every 6 months, you're going, do I keep this or do I not keep this? And then be real with yourself and ask yourself, did I just spend $1,000 a month on realtor.com leads and not call them back when they came through and registered? Right? That's a perfect example. Like, I get a lot of agents that say, oh, I tried Zillow, I tried realtor.com. It didn't work. It sucked. But then you talk to other agents that are spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month on Zillow and Realtor.com, and they're like, "Dude, are you crazy? This is the best thing that ever happened in my life."
Hey, Dave.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody has to also be fully committed before you do the return of investment and you actually see what it brought to your business. We do have a few questions on our live
Okay.
from Jay. I have Jay from California. He says, for newer agents, how do they massively get their name out? And do you recommend a coach or a mentor for newer agents? And what's the difference?
Yeah. So,
awesome.
Jay, that's a great question. I think there is a difference between a coach and a mentor, right? Coaches charge, mentors sometimes do, and sometimes, most of the time, don't. I think we live in a society today where people believe that failure is okay and accept it. And so you can get me into this whole new thing. But what I want to say is when a new agent comes into the industry and this new agent is trying to figure out what to do next, and they come to me and they go, Dave, what do I do next? I go, one, find a mentor, or two, join a team. Why join a team? Because the team is already producing at a high level. And typically there is a mentor on that team that wants that agent to be successful, i.e. the whole team successful, right? And so when we talk about what a new agent does, I highly, highly suggest, listen, take history and understand it. If you want to be a master gunsmith, you study under one. Swords, you study under one. If you want to be the world's #1 jiu-jitsu champion, you study under one. If you want to be an amazing doctor, you study under one and you work with one, right? And so when we look at this, I always ask myself, why do realtors spend a few hours in a class, a few hours on a test, get a license, and just go try to do it without studying under one, right? So if you're a new agent out there, find the baddest MFer out there that you could find and offer them a cup of coffee and ask them if you can mentor with them. Work for free if you have to for 6 months. Do what you have to do to be in the environment that you want to be in, right? Did I answer the question, Jeannie? Do you think that?
That was, yeah, I mean, there was a couple questions you definitely
Okay.
answered. So we have, what is the difference between the coach and a mentor?
Yeah, so I think for the most part, coaches are professional coaches, are folks who are certified and who are running coaching businesses and coach folks for a fee, and that's what they do. They help people. Okay. Um, Mentors are a little bit different because you could get a mentor for free, or you could work for a mentor and split the income, or things of that nature. Sometimes they just take it a little override. Sometimes mentors take nothing because they might not even be in your business, right? Sometimes you could look at somebody who runs a very successful business and get mentored on the business aspect of it versus the selling the real estate part. And it's just somebody that, dude, you go out and buy a cup of coffee for and pick their brain, and they're happy to spill the beans to you, right? I'm all about it. I always tell people, if I could turn back time, I would find a mentor, and I'd take his clothes to the cleaners, wash his car, shine his shoes, grab his coffee, whatever it took to absorb as much information as I could from that person, and
Yeah.
earn my space in the industry.
But I like to add to that. So a mentor in the industry, for example, what I do personally in my mentoring, I provide the guidance through the transaction, so you kind of tell them what to do and how to do it. For the coaching aspect of it is another level. The coaching is more awareness of yourself, and then really building that your goals and having someone that's going to hold you accountable along the way, but they're going to actually coach you through your struggles and whatever you are in conflict with, and then make you aware, build a plan around it, and hold you accountable until you reach that level.
Yeah,
And
I'm
so
glad you
that's,
got it, that you added that in, because that's something I definitely left out.
yeah, so no, I mean, it is about awareness at the end of the day overall. But
Look,
yeah,
I love coaching. I talk about the mentorship and what I would have done in the beginning. Very few new agents can afford a coach. But once you can afford a coach, I think it's 100% the right thing to do. And I know there's a lot of folks out there that say, "Oh, coaches are overrated, and coaches this, and coaches that." For the folks that are saying that stuff, go see what their business looks like before you take what they say as gold, right? Go see what their business looks like. If their business is exactly what you think your business should look like, then yeah, run with them. But if their business is nowhere near what you want your business to be, don't listen to them. That's all noise.
Yeah.
Right? It's all noise,
Yeah.
because
Finding
coaches
the
will
right
work
one.
with you one-on-one and help guide you in the right direction. And they don't tell you what to do. They help you understand what needs to be done. Very different thing, you know? All right, you
Yeah,
got any other
absolutely.
questions before we continue?
Before marketing ends, so the question is, for newer agents, how can they get their name massively out there?
Yeah, so massive exposure. I say something, and I've actually mentioned it in both my books, and it's going to be in my third book too. Be everywhere all the time. And I know that can be very difficult for some folks, but you have to be. You have
What
to
does
be
that
on
mean?
You have to be on Facebook a lot. You have to do lives. You have to create video. You have to be on Instagram. You have to be on other platforms. You have to have all your platforms set up, even if you're not using them as consistently, right? LinkedIn, Twitter, you name it. I know it sounds overwhelming. It's just the daggone truth, right? If there's an event, be there. Name tag, logo on your hat, whatever the case, logo on your hat, like whatever the case is, right? If there's an event somewhere else, go. If there's an event in California and you can afford to go, go. Be everywhere all the time. Be on Clubhouse, create a show, be a member of a show, ask questions, create a podcast, make it a video blog as well. Like I do a podcast almost weekly, and every week that podcast is live on Facebook. So we do the live, then I pull the sound and I turn it into a podcast. We're over 200 of those already. And then expose that. Go the extra mile. Write a book. It's really not that hard to do, believe it or not. Right? Write a book. Spend the money. Get published. Give that book away. Be everywhere all the time. The more that you expose yourself out, the more people will know who you are. The more people that know who you are, the more relationships you can build. The more relationships you can build, the more lives you can change. The more lives you can change, the more business you'll create. The more business you create, you'll earn a consequence. And that consequence is called a paycheck. It's crazy,
Yeah.
right?
And I sat down a few months ago in Puerto Rico with one of our amazing people in our organization, Gene Fredericks, and one thing he said to me, like, pretty simple: stay relatable. Just stay relatable. Whatever your industry, your niche, just be a part of it. And that's what it is.
Huge.
If it's not the digital world, it's being in your community, being involved, and being that person. So that was huge for me. Spoke in so many ways, and so I appreciate that. And it was pretty simple: just stay relatable.
Stay relatable. That's huge. That's a huge thing, right?
Yeah.
What else? We have another question here that I'm going to showcase. What are some of the tips to getting more deals you suggest cold calling and mailers? All right, so I'll go back to what I originally said a few minutes ago. Whatever you feel works for you, that's what you have to try out. And if you have to try something new, like cold calling, right? I tried cold calling. It's not my gig. I don't like it. I know there's a lot of people out there massively successful with it, but I don't like it. If I don't like it and I don't do it well enough, I can't coach on it, right? So it's not a part of what we do as a team. However, if somebody feels like they're just the greatest cold caller on the planet and it works for them, they have to go and do that. They might be better at that, and I may be better at networking. I believe in being out in front of people all the time and working with people and being in front of their faces, being everywhere all the time. And I feel like that environment that I built over years has created a great system that allows people to know who I am and want to send us business because they know that we're going to take good care of them. And then when we do a good job, they keep sending us business or referrals or whatever the case is because we actually, we backed up what we were consistently presenting to them time and time again. So it has to just be what you're comfortable with and what you feel comfortable growing through.
Absolutely.
All right, cash flow. What are you left with after all this craziness, right? Paid for marketing, paid for leads, paid for systems, paid for people, paid for staff. What are you left with? What's your cash flow? It's important to manage that and understand that, and becomes a part of your business plan. So working on the plan from the main goals. I like to show this little chart right here. Okay. This chart right here is very, very simple. Okay. Now let's talk about your main goals on the top. Remember, I told you that you're going to have multiple goals in your business plan, right? You're going to have multiple goals in your business plan. Take a screenshot of this. This is how I want you to build it out on paper. Okay. You're going to put one word across the top, whatever that main goal is. Let's say it's earn $100,000. Let's just say that, right? If I want to earn $100,000, right? I'm going to put income, cash flow, marketing, and services. So now income, cash flow, I'm going to put $100,000 because that's the main goal, right? So the income from that is going to be $100,000. But I'm going to go slash cash flow. How much of that do I keep? Understanding how much of that I get to keep lets me know how much of that I have to spend. Now I've got marketing. What types of marketing will I do to set that up? Services. What services do I provide to earn that income? Then I'm going to create down lines. Finances, types, offering. Okay. What does this mean? This means you're going to break this down into all the different pieces where you're going to spend money and where you're going to earn money. That's your finances, right? And types of marketing that you're going to provide, and you're going to break that down. You can't just say, I'm going to be on social media more. You break that down. What does that mean to you? I'm going to be on social media more. Does it mean you're going to post one more time a week? Or does it mean I'm going to have a system where I post 7 days a week at this time, and each day of the week, this is what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to do that every single week, and I'm going to have new topics. And guess what? I'm going to plan this out for the whole quarter. Right? Or I'm going to cold call, right? So Yen Lee brought up the cold calling earlier. That's a type of marketing, by the way, right? It's an action that you create. So what system am I going to use for cold calling? How many numbers am I going to get? How many people am I going to call a day? What is my cold calling goal, right? Like, how many people do I intend to connect with that day and set appointments with? How much time will I spend on this? Is it going to be an hour a day or an hour a week, right? And when is that hour? Is it at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m.? Like, understanding where you position yourself consistently throughout the process. What are you offering? Right? The service. What are you offering? Are you working with vets? Are you working with doctors? Are you just a listing specialist, or are you specific to an area? I mean, what is your offer? What's your value add? Right? If you can build this out for each and every one of your goals, you're going to be able to break this down. Okay. Now, remember, we talked about this. It's not just one goal. There's multiple for every single goal that you create for 2022, right? This is what you're going to do. Okay. And I wish I could show you my mind map. I'm going to show that to you in a little bit. But we're going to break this down so simply. I want you to watch this. You have that main goal for the year, right? When you create this piece right here, you're going to have everything that needs to be done to create that goal, to accomplish that goal. Like, you already know, okay? You basically, this is like you sitting in your car and saying, I'm going to 123 Main Street, and going to Waze and typing in 123 Main Street, and Waze doing an algorithm calculation on how it's going to get you there. This is what you've done here. This is what you've created here. Now all you got to do is follow the guide. And the way that you're going to follow the guide is by breaking this down. So you've got your main goal for the year. I'm going to make $100,000. You're going to break down all the stuff that you said earlier into a quarterly basis. Every quarter, these are the numbers I got to put up. These are the things that I need to accomplish. Then for every quarter, you're going to break that down monthly, and then you're going to break it down weekly. You're going to break it down granular. Okay. You're not going to look at the big lofty goal anymore. You're not going to get to the Spanish steps in Rome and at the bottom stand there and just stare at the top and look at the goal of reaching the top of the Spanish steps. You're going to look at the step in front of you, and you're going to understand, your body already knows that to get to the top of the Spanish steps in Rome, I need to take one step at a time up these steps. Now, some of you are going to become G's at this, and you'll be taking 2-3 steps at a time. You should be running up them steps like Rocky, right? But your body knows and your brain knows that to get to the top of those steps, I need to one foot in front of the other and take one step at a time. Once you're able to break this down, take your main goals, break them down quarterly. That's four sections. Break them down monthly. That means each section has 3 months, right? Each quarter has 3 months. So take those 4 sections, and each one of those 4 sections you break into 3. And then you'll break them down weekly. Each one of those months you break into 4. Now I need to know what I need to accomplish on a weekly basis to meet my monthly goal, to meet my quarterly goal, to meet the goal for the year. Does that make sense to you guys? Like, I wish we could have a conversation here, right?
Mhm.
And once you're able and capable of doing this, you're going to do something genius, right? Remember, this breakdown needs to be created for all aspects of the business plan, right? Then you're going to do something genius. You're going to take everything that needs to be accomplished on a weekly basis, and you can put it on your calendar. I know, right? I know, like, and people go, what's so genius about it? The genius part is that most of you are not going to fucking do it. That's the genius part, right? The genius part is for those of you that are geniuses that are going to break this down the right way, get super granular on this, and then put it in your schedule. If it's not on my schedule, it doesn't get done, right?
That's the
Tom
accountability
Ferry's
part.
way. Yeah, that's Tom Ferry's way of saying it. For me, I always say if it's not on my schedule, it doesn't exist, right? If it's not on my schedule, it doesn't exist. If I show you guys my schedule, I have my gym time on my schedule. I have my meditation time on my schedule. I got my haircut on my schedule, right? I'm Jewish. I celebrate or I recognize Shabbat every Friday. On my schedule, I block off 3 p.m. and on, right? So like all of this is in my schedule so that I could work around those things and input everything else that needs to be done. If I want my team to grow from 20 agents or 18 agents that it is today to 50 agents by the end of next year, what do I need to do on a daily basis, right? For those of you that are running businesses, right? I need to hire more salespeople, or I need to hire more staff, or I need to, what's it going to take to get there, right? Now, your business plan, a lot of people think about, okay, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think of the different pieces to this, right? So here's the different pieces. Take a quick screenshot. I found this. It was great. It was on Google, right? Different pieces to a business plan. That's what I Googled. And it's got your marketing. We talked about marketing a lot today. Your product description. We talked about that quite a bit as well. If you think about, yeah, we're all selling houses, right? If you're all realtors on here, we're all selling houses. But bigger than that, who are we selling houses to, right? Who's our avatar? And that describes your product. Are you in the condo market? Are you in the single family market? Are you in the investor market? Right. And then you could break that down even more granular. I'm in the single family market, but I don't sell anything less than $1 million, or I don't sell anything over $1 million, or, whatever it is for you, just break it down massively granular. Or I'm in this neighborhood and I don't go to that neighborhood. And if somebody requests something in that neighborhood, I refer that business out because I don't want to do the 45-minute drive. Right. Everybody does it differently. Some people say, I'm on that drive all day long. Let's go. Other people say, it's not worth it to me. I can't sit in traffic for 45 minutes to show 2 houses, to sit in traffic 45 minutes back. I lose an entire morning. I could have worked with 5 people in that time frame, right? So it's all about understanding your timing too, right? Operations. What is the operations of your business? Who's in charge of what? Do you have staff? Mission statement. Do you even know what that is? What's your vision? And now turn that into a mission statement. Right? Competitor analysis. We talked about that too. Who's your competition? Have you Googled them? What are they doing? What's winning for them and what's losing for them? It's important to recognize both, right? And being able to study them well enough to see where they're winning and where they're losing. They might not even know what they're losing because they're not doing their own operational analysis, right? But you could recognize it from the outside and you can help avoid those mistakes, again, because success leaves clues. Financial planning, understanding how much money is going out and how much money is coming in, right? And we talked about the SWOT analysis as well, okay? Up your accountability. Jeannie just mentioned this a few moments ago. Jeannie, how do you find you keep yourself accountable? What are some of the things that you do and that maybe you coach to the agents that you mentor and that you coach to keep accountability up?
Different. For me personally, I have different ways. Calendar's one. My business partner is another. Really
That
surrounding,
guy's a total jerk, huh?
really surrounding yourself with the right people that are gonna be supportive and really push you and hold you accountable. I mean, I believe that you need to hire, like for myself, for example, hire a coach for every aspect of your life. I hired a fitness coach because I was limiting myself uh, for many reasons in my fitness goals. So I hired someone that's going to hold me accountable and push me to the next level and to the next level and create even bigger goals for myself as well as my business. I have many of our leaders and our team, all of our team members, really, they hold me accountable. I mean, I haven't been on my marketing as we should have or as I should have, and I've been put on the spot by everyone in the team. So I appreciate it. You guys are holding me accountable, and I need to be aware of that. Now I'm aware. Now I need to take action and put some stuff out there.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome. I accountability for me goes both ways. So Jeannie helps me with accountability. My wife helps me with accountability. And for some of you that may work, for some of you it may not work. For me it works. My wife is very, so she will oftentimes hold me accountable. My team holds me accountable. If my team sees something slipping or something going the wrong way, they represent it. My calendar holds me accountable. And then at the end of the day, you have to learn how to hold yourself accountable. You need to be able to look at your calendar and go, hey, I scheduled it, I got to do it, right? Or I have to leverage it. There are oftentimes that Jeannie and I will switch appointments to each other to make sure that we can reach the goals, right? And so accountability needs to be at an all-time high. If you're running a team out there and you don't hold your agents accountable, you'll not find success, right? And if your agents don't want to be held accountable, bring them to this training so they can understand what it means to be a part of a team, right? Um, Accountability is key. You need to be reviewing the business plan that you guys are about to sit down and create on a consistent basis. It needs to be in a book, or it needs to be on a Google Drive, and it needs to be always open on your computer. Whatever it is, that business plan that you create needs to be reviewed by you almost on a daily basis. So you keep your head in your plan and you understand the direction that you're going. You can't turn on the Google map for directions somewhere, and then as soon as you get the directions, turn off the map and ignore it and go your own route, right? It happens to me all the time. I turn on Waze, it tells me to go one direction. I'm like, why is it taking me that way? I know where I'm going and I go the other direction, and it was helping me avoid an accident or traffic or something like that. And now I'm stuck because I don't want to listen. You know, it's your plan. You created it. You know exactly what you wanted for the end of the year, right? And here's the best part about holding yourself accountable. If you look at the end of quarter one, March 31st, you sit down and you look at your quarterly plan and you realize that your numbers are not where they should be, you know what you need to do to adjust and you hold yourself accountable. Please do not be the New Year's resolution person. The one that says my New Year's resolution is to lose 20 pounds has zero plan to get there. And so they don't lose 20 pounds. Or they try for January, number one gym memberships month of the year, right? January. And you join the gym and boom, all of a sudden you quit because it's not happening for you, right? It's not what we want for you. We want you to sit down. We want you to create an amazing plan that you can put together, okay? And I want you to review this plan so consistently that you almost memorize it. All right, Jeannie, you had something
yeah.
you wanted to run into?
Well, I think the awareness tool in the beginning of all this is what's really going to bring to light. So if you're aware that perhaps you can't hold yourself accountable in whatever ways you can, really partner up with someone that you can. whether it is, posting your business plan on a monthly basis to that person, sharing it and talking to them once a month or every other week, whatever that may be, really reflect on it and then leverage, someone, a partner, and you can say, hey, man, I didn't make it this week. I didn't, if you wanted to take out 2 clients and you didn't this week, then talk to someone, and get that support. So then you can, hold yourself accountable at least until you get your own way, until you find your own way. Use others around you.
You said something great there. I had an agent once that I was coaching, and he wanted to be a heavy cold caller. And so he said, I'm going to cold call 3 hours a day, every single day, Monday through Friday. I said, that's great. That's fantastic. I let him run with it. And 3 hours a day, he would cold call. And some of those days, he would not have any success at all. Some of those days, he would not even be able to connect with somebody. So the next time we coached, I said, okay, well, let me ask you this. After the 3 hours is over, what did you have to do in your day? Oh, well, the rest of the day was pretty dead, et cetera, et cetera. I didn't have any comps to do, and because I didn't connect with anybody. And my immediate question was, is the goal to accomplish 3 hours of cold calling, or is the goal to get appointments? And he said, well, of course the goal is to get appointments. And I said, so why would you stop cold calling if you didn't have any appointments? So instead of saying, I'm going to do this for 3 hours a day, why don't we say, how many people do you feel like you need to speak to, and how many appointments do you need to get each day? Well, fantastic. You're not allowed to get off the phone until you get one appointment. And you speak to 3 people because you said both of them. That means that if your first phone call of the day is one appointment, that's one person and one appointment. You didn't speak to 3 people. The goal is to surpass that as well on the days that you can, and after that, he started to find a lot of success in reaching people and getting appointments and getting listings just by simply changing a little bit of his mindset and switching the flow up a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. There are those who dream big but fail to plan. And there are those that plan and fail to take action. But there are also a selected few that build upon a plan by taking action. Those are the ones that succeed. That is a quote that I created many years ago when I first started doing this business planning, right? And when I was leading to writing my book, Take Action. And then I saw this slide on the bottom from Tom Ferry, and it says, stop. What actions will you take? How are you going to win? What actions are you going to take to succeed in this business? And how are you going to grow? Those are questions that you need to ask yourself and be real with yourself. If I say I'm writing a book, right? If I say I'm writing a book, what actions will I take in my business plan, and how will I plan that out, and how will I accomplish it, and by when do I want to accomplish it? Very simple stuff. The hard part is actually when that time slot comes up to go and do it. All right. And it says, what new accountabilities will support your greatness? So we talked about all the different ways that Jeannie and I hold ourselves accountable and how we hold our team accountable. And so opportunity for you right now is to figure out how you're going to hold yourself accountable. What new things will you put in place to hold yourself accountable? Tasks, reminders, calendar, an accountability buddy, right? Like Jeannie said, find somebody who's taking their business just as seriously as you are, and create an accountability partner and check in with each other on a weekly basis. It could just be a 20-minute phone call and check in with each other and see how each other's doing. Help each other grow. Even if you are competition, it doesn't matter. There's enough business out there for all of us, right? I want to finish this off by saying we're bringing New You Recon to South Florida in September of 2022. So for those of you that are attending this right now and want to come to the conference, tickets are already on sale, newyourecon.com. Check it out. We're bringing Tom Ferry back, and we have a couple extra special guests that are going to show up, and we probably won't announce those till about June of next year. So sorry. But the point is, it was an amazing conference. It inspired a merger of the presentation that Tom Ferry had along with ours. and we want you guys to be present. We want you to check in with us. If you guys follow us on social media, please do. It's been ticking across the bottom here. Follow us at David Adam Kurz and at Jeanette.Realtor. Ask us about our private Facebook group. If you want to be a part of our private Facebook group, send us a DM. Say, hey, I'd like to be a part of your private Facebook group. We'll send you a link. Join us in our group. We host a lot of coaching in there. We host a lot of cool stuff in there. We've got a bunch of volunteers that are consistently giving information away. So a great place for you to stay educated, stay growing, and stay winning in this industry. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. It's a great opportunity for you guys to prepare for 2022, and a great opportunity for us to create some sort of relationship with you as well. We'll be doing this live in South Florida. This particular session, we'll be doing it live in South Florida in January. So we'll keep you guys posted and let you know where we're going to do it and how we're going to do it. We're also thinking about bringing this to Virginia. So if you're a Virginia agent, be prepared, because we'll be bringing this session up there too. All right, guys.
Thank you guys
for joining us.
Wonderful.
We're going to stream off. Like I said, follow us on social media, and we will do everything we can to create a great relationship with you and help your business blow up. All right, guys, take care.